How are you, booktube? My name's Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books and to Tag Tuesday. Well, I'm filming on Tag Tuesday. I'm hoping it'll be up for Tag Tuesday in time for some people. It is about 5:15 in the evening at the moment and there are massive roadworks around me. Now they tend to finish at 5, but sometimes, you know, things run over. So if there's a lot of digging, there's nothing I can do about it. If we want to get this up for anybody at Tag Tuesday. I was tagged in these two tags that I'm filming today by Christina from Lisbon of Knitting Books, etc. is her name of her channel. Christina is in the Faulkner group as well. The one that were Faulkner in August 2021, where we're reading Sanctuary. And she does appear to be up all night because she seems to be constantly posting. I'm really enjoying her posts where she reads chapters and she's saying what she thought about a particular chapter. Yeah, it's been very enjoyable. Actually, the whole Fox group has been very enjoyable. But let's get on with the tags because we've got to get this uploaded, so it needs to be reasonably quick. And I have quite a few books here. So the first tag is the superheroes tag. I was tagged in this last March. Very sorry. We are all special, unique. What is your unique special powers? Well, not filming tag videos in time, obviously. I like too many things. I multitask too much. I read too many genres of books. That's why I have too large a TBR and physically own TBR. I also enjoy so many different things that I have both a PhD in molecular neuroscience and a qualification as a qualified accountant, and I've worked in both jobs. So my superpower is to do too many things, and it's not a superpower I recommend. Every superhero needs a nemesis. Name your bookish enemy. What is your kryptonite? Here I'm going to tag the first tagged person. So that's John of Books and Blood. He's doing that 70 horror reading challenge over September. And one of his challenges is to read a book about Vietnam. Now I will take part in the challenge, but I will not be reading about Vietnam. I do not like war novels. And so I haven't decided. I'm going to just skip that prompt or substitute something else. That's to be decided. But yeah, my nemesis is war novels. I don't like them. Especially with active fighting in it. I just don't like them. If you could wish for any superpower, what could it be? To be a little bit more decisive. No, my superpower would be to be able to talk to those budgies in the background and actually explain to them why it's important for them to be quiet for just 15 minutes, please. And please stop eating my books. That was my superpower. I'd be Dr. Dolittle. I'd talk to the animals. By day, you're a mild-mannered Clark Kent. What do you do when you aren't being bookish, a bookish superhero? Not an awful lot of time between work, booktube watching, filming, reading, and looking, visiting elderly parents and other family obligations. But I do love to go for walks along the beach. I haven't gone in the last... I went 2 weeks ago, yeah. I go nearly every weekend. And when it's anyway mild at all, we swim. It's about 15 degrees here at the moment. So 15 degrees Celsius is what, 59 Fahrenheit or something like that. It's quite cool. So, and yeah. Name your favourite bookish villain. It has to be Mrs. Danvers from Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. She's so mistaken in her allegiance to Rebecca, because I don't think Rebecca ever cared about her much. But and her treatment of the second Mrs. Danvers is horrific. But somehow I think there's a backstory there. So I've always had a slight fondness for Mrs. Danvers. And so many people, I've seen her done in retellings and in the different movie versions, and there's just so much you can do with that character. She's amazing. Defenders of the Earth Unite. Which Bookish superhero would you collaborate with? Ah, yes. This is Misako. This is the book I'm reading at the moment. And if Amy and Zoe Beck manages to watch this, because, yeah, too many videos, but if she does watch this, she'll know exactly why. She made a fundamental mistake, and before she made it, I'm like, oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. In this book, they're housewives, they're working in a box lunch factory, and one of them has killed her husband, and they're trying to dispose of the body, and they've made a very fundamental mistake. So Misaka, I can't pronounce her name, who is the leader of the group, has made such a silly mistake. So yeah, her, but I would not want to take part in cutting up the body. It was gross. Tag others. Okay, the others I'm gonna tag are Nadine, Tomb Raider, and Anamo from Mad Cat Quilts as well in this, and anybody who wants to do this. I am tagging the you in both tags if you want to do them, and if you haven't done them, because I'm getting confused. I'm so far behind in doing these tags. I've lost track of who's done which one at this stage. So we're now at the creator. The creator is AJ Dunn in this one. Love AJ Dunn's channel, and this is it's all relative tag. It's all relative is a fun tag. I have to put it didn't print properly for me. I have it printed, but it didn't print the middle question, so I'm going to have to go down and look at the computer for the other questions, the middle questions. Okay, so question 1, Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia. Recommend a book with a mother character that is pivotal to the story. So many. Maggie O'Farrell's instructions for Heatwave fit nearly all these prompts, by the way, but I'm not going to use the book that just appeared on my channel within the last week or so, because if anybody is watching on all the videos, which how the hell are you managing to watch so much, they will get sick of the same things every time. And besides, I wanted to remind myself of some books I needed to read and books I've read recently that I haven't talked about recently. So the first is The Paper Bracelet. This is essentially about mothers. I have not read it yet. It's by Rachel English. It is about mothers in the mother and baby care homes in Ireland. So it happened up into the 1980s, because it was a Catholic country. Girls and women who got pregnant were sent to these care homes, and the standards of care were very bad. The mortality rate of the children up to the 1980s was extremely high, and the children were often taken from the mothers without their consent and adopted, usually to the US and places. So this is about a woman tracing the people from the children from the mother care homes. So that's mothers are essential to this story. Papa Don't Preach, a book with a father character you like or despise. A character I like, but like and despise is, and I have two versions of this book. This is Auf Deutsch in German, and this one's in English. So The Shining, there was The Shining I picked up. Yeah, it was The Shining. The Shining, jack of all trades. In this book, it's a haunted hotel. The dad is an alcoholic. Okay, if you haven't seen the movie or watched the movie or read the book or know the synopsis already, he's an alcoholic. He's in a hotel with his wife and child. They're snowed in. He's the caretaker. The ghosts are tormenting him, and he's slipping back into his alcoholism, and ultimately the ghosts are going to encourage him. In the book it's the ghosts. In the movie it's his alcoholism, actually, because they took slightly different stances on what was the cause. But they encourage him to try and kill his family. So you can't get much of a worse dad than that. Brothers and Sisters, a book with an interesting sibling relationship. I'm just going to say, my sister the serial killer. But I'm going to do a book that's fundamentally about siblings. The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. The Immortalists is about four children. So there's 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Did I get that right? Yeah, it is 2 brothers and 2 sisters. You know how it's been a while since you read some of these books, and they're told their date as children, the date of their death, and it follows their story. Do they die on that day? They're told by a fortune teller, and it's an examination of whether knowing the date of your death makes you lead the life that leads up to that death. You know what I mean? If you're told you die young, do you lead a life that's going to make you die young? If you know you're told you're going to live a long time, does that influence you? Like, do you influence your own death? It's that kind of thing. You're never told whether the actual prediction was true or not. It's up to you to decide on this one. But it's fundamentally about these 4 siblings and them dealing with it all together. They're all told individually, and they all have to deal with it together because they're the only people who know. So it's about their relationship too. It's been 84 years, a book that is multi-generational or chronicles a character's whole life. This one chronicles a character's whole life. This is The Island of Sea Women. It's about fishing, the women in South Korea, and they dive. They used to dive in the 1930s and 40s without scuba tanks or anything like that, and they were the main providers for their families. And it's fundamentally about 2 of them and about their lives. They have a friendship and that grows, and a misunderstanding or a lack of, somebody isn't aware of something, it means that they fall out. So it goes from their childhood through to one of them dies and one of them is an old lady. It's a very powerful novel, and it's a beautiful concept actually. That the women were the people, were the providers at the time. So the next question is, you complete me a book with an interesting marriage as a central element to the story. And I've chosen The Still Woman's Gift by Sally Magnuson, a 17th century tale where Barbary pirates kidnap the quite a few people from a village on the coast of Iceland. And they take them to Algiers, and our main protagonist is the wife of a pastor, and she's brought to this Arabian world where everybody's Muslim. She's made part of a harem. Meanwhile, her husband, who was kidnapped with her, is sent back to look for whatever the name of that money is when you're kidnapped. What's the name of the money that you look for? I cannot remember. I'm blanking. The money that you look for when you're a kidnapper. So while he's looking for that money, she spends 12 years apart from him in a Muslim court, and her son is there as well, and he's been raised Muslim. So it is essentially about telling tales as in the Arabian style, but in her case she's telling the Icelandic legends. But it's also about the division in this marriage, and is there a way to heal it? She has just go back 12 years later. So what is the name? Hostage money? Can't remember. The question 6 is, picture it, Cicely, a book with an interesting elder character, a grandparent, great-grandparent, etc. You can't get better than Olive Kitteridge in the Elizabeth Strack books, in Olive Kitteridge and Olive Again. These books are essays, and they do in a small Maine town, and they do deal with Olive getting older, her new relationships. Her husband dies, she forms new relationships. She doesn't get on with her son. She's trying to build a relationship with her grandchildren. She's dealing with getting very old at one stage, eventually, and the use of adult diapers and everything. So you're not going to get a more interesting older character than Olive Kitteridge. And then, do we have Friends with Benefits. I think we're back onto the paper copies. A book with a found family or friends as family element. There are two. I think a lot of people use this one because it's a recent book. It's a Love After Love by Ingrid Prasad, where the lodger becomes part of their family, to be honest. So a mother and a son take in one of the other teachers in the school that she works, and they become their own family. And it's also about it's set in the Caribbean, it's in Trinidad, and yeah, some of the prejudice against homosexual people, and also a lot about the food that they cook and all. There's just so many good things in this book. And then the other one is Elif Shafak. You think I would have know how to pronounce her name? I haven't heard her mentioned so many times. 10 minutes 38 seconds in this strange world, where our main protagonist is dying. It's the 10 minutes 38 seconds before her death, and she's thinking on her life and on her friends and her found family of her friends. And her friends in this book are trying to reclaim her body, because she's dying, or she's dead for them. And they're not allowed to claim it because they're not actual blood relatives, but they are family. The book establishes that they are family. I think we're alone now. A book where a character is lost, left behind, or abandoned. Can also be a story of an orphaned or adopted character. Oliver Twist. I have to read Oliver Twist this year. It's one of my 2 Dickens books. I haven't finished the Pickwick Papers either. I'm about 3/4 of the way through Pickwick Papers. So, and I need to start, they maybe for October, I will be picking up Oliver Twist. I mean, I think everybody knows what this one is about. And last but not least, Fur Baby. A book with a pet or animal is part of the family and or plays an important role in the book. The humans. The dog is in the cover for a reason. In this book, in case you don't know, Matt Haig has created a character where a man has died, the father of a family has died, and an alien has taken over his body to explore Earth and humanity. But at the beginning, he gets on far better with the dog because humans are weird. Humans are very weird, so he gets on far better with the dog in the beginning. So their interactions with the dog in this family is great. So that's the end of my tag. I hope this uploads in time for Tag Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing all your tags, and until the next time, have fun.